All right, thank you for being here. Today we're going through my case study of Mark Yegge's Wealth Investors Club. So let's dive right in. Let's out of this. So we're looking at about 13-month project starting in January of 22, and before that, basically generating no revenue. So in the 13 months, generate 184,000 in revenue, 158,000 in profit at about an 86% profit margin. So let's dive into the business. Mark Yegge runs a hedge fund. So here's his website. I was introduced to him through a client of mine about 3 years ago. And the reason that Mark wanted to end up working with me was I was willing to work on a performance basis. And the reason why was basically as long as I have a say in what the offer is, that way I can guarantee what type of results that we're going to get. I was fine with just working on performance. So what we put together was a mastermind, a high-ticket mastermind based on his trading experience. So basically coaching people how to trade in the stock market, people who they have money, but they don't necessarily want to put it with a wealth manager. They just want to learn how to trade themselves. So we charged 20K for the mastermind. And once I had Mark get it off the ground, which you can see here, he ran with it and started building his personal brand, started putting together a bunch of YouTube videos, marketing the mastermind, trying to sell it himself. But as you can see, sales dried up. So it was around October, November, I want to say, that I basically said, hey, listen, I think there's still a lot of meat on the bone. Let's figure out how to really scale this thing. So that point, it was a matter of just testing everything. We had some things that were working, some pretty good ads, some pretty good VSLs, but we didn't have the right channel. We didn't have the right offer. So we started testing things like Facebook groups. We did new VSLs, we did webinars, we did some direct outreach on LinkedIn and Facebook. We even tried YouTube ads to see if that channel would work. But in the end, what we found that was missing was really came down to three things. First is we need to have a more solidified sales process where we could be taking the feedback from sales and feeding it back into marketing and then making sure that people are ready to buy when they're getting a call. So you can see here some of the content that we had them watch before they even got into a phone call with us. And then what are they going to see between phone calls as well? And the beauty of this is now that it's automated, now that this is all set up, marketing can just continue to run this. It doesn't have to manage it himself. These pieces are in place. So that was the first thing. The second thing was then we needed to test a ton of different audiences, a bunch of different offers. How are we going to find something that actually resonates? So you can see we ran a lot of campaigns here, but really what helped us a lot was we analyzed who are our customers. So you can see warm or cold. Do they have experience trading or don't they? And then what is their ultimate goal? What do they want to get out of this? Are they trying to save for retirement or they just want to live a better lifestyle? And by narrowing down who was paying us, who was actually interested in our product, we were able to start finding what were our winning avatars. The third step was, okay, now that we know we have leads coming in, we have a repeatable process, but we need them to buy more consistently. That's when we started looking at the offer. So you can see this one right here, this Income Accelerator launched this December 29th, just a little over a month ago. Completely new offer. Instead of a high ticket mastermind, this was just a low ticket 1797 program. 5 weeks, opportunity to meet Mark, learn his system, get to know him, and not have such a big hurdle of having to pay 20K up front. And this absolutely crushed for us. So you can see here, this is all-time revenue. This right here, just from December 25th, right, because we launched on the 29th until just last week, this 20K in new revenue was strictly for the workshop. This is a discounted cash flow analysis. So this is how you value a business, looking at things like lifetime value, cost to acquire a customer, all the overhead that goes into a business, fixed costs, you can see right here. So one thing I want to look at is here's our media spend per day. You can see we're only spending about $140 a day, which works out to about 4K a month. So not that much. And what that does for us is let's just focus in on the mastermind sales. So this is what we were bringing in before. And you can see we weren't even getting a mastermind sale a month, right? Maybe one every other month. Now using the same advertising with a better offer, well, now we have this low ticket offer coming in, obviously not generating a ton of revenue, but here's the real beauty of it. On the back end, after the 5 weeks, then we can sell them the mastermind and our courses and other products that we have. So now when we sum these up, we're spending the same amount of ad dollars, but instead we're getting a return of 30K in profit. And this is free cash flow. This is profit, right? So if we're getting 30K a month in cash flow, now that works out to about 360,000 in profit per year. And that's with no employees, right? So jumping back over here, you can see already this is Q1. We've already had our best quarter ever, and it's only second week of February, right? So this is what I call a unit case, where everything is resonating on the marketing, the sales, and the audience. We have those all dialed in really well. So now we can actually start putting a little more fuel on the fire. This is a model with 2 times the ad spend, and we're adding in the commission cost of a sales rep. So what's nice about this is we're doing less work because we have a salesperson now, and we're getting more profit every single month. So this puts us at more like 50K, which works out to about 600,000 in profit every year with one employee. So you're probably wondering, how can this work for you? This diagram kind of lays out my growth consulting process, because it's not just marketing. It's actually looking at marketing and sales and then feeding that back into the product, feeding that back into the offer to figure out how to find real resonance in the market. So I'm sure you're familiar with product market fit. This is something I call service market fit. And this is where we're starting off with our offer based on our customer problem. And then we're choosing our audience to start with. Marketing, we're talking about sales letter, ads, messaging, design, all those things go on here. And then that's going to drive sales calls. And here's the key is I need to get on those sales calls so that I can actually talk to the customer, figure out what they're saying, what they want, and then feed that back into the marketing process. And that's an iterative process. Eventually, I'm going to figure out, do we need to change the offer? Or can we keep running this and we just need to tweak a few things? Maybe it's updating the script and improving part of the sales process. But only because I'm in tune with all of this can I really assure success. So let me break this down further. This is the same diagram. You can see marketing, audience, offer, sales, same colors, right? Same thing you're looking over here, but just more in a process flow, right? So if this is your company, you already know your customer problem. You probably don't need to do anything with the offer. Otherwise, we won't be talking right now. We'll figure out in the future if it needs to be or can be improved. But then start looking at the audience and actually figure out, okay, where are these improvements? And will help me get a better feel for your business is once I start getting on calls with some of your customers, then I can figure out, okay, are we using the right language? Are we solving the right problems? And then to make sure the metrics are making sense, because then it becomes really clear what parts of the funnel we need to fix. So what you're looking at here, this is a paid traffic inside sales funnel. Why do I use that? Of course, you can do direct outreach where you're finding people on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, cold email, cold calling, and that's great. Very cost effective, definitely great when you're starting out. But if you really know what you're doing, this is a system where you put $1 in and you get $3, $5, $10 out. Your goal is paid traffic because that means that you have all of this dialed in. And if you don't, that's what I'm going to look at. So even if you are doing direct outreach, we're going to get you to the point where you can do paid advertising consistently. And that's when you can really scale. That's when you can establish that unit case and really grow. So if this sounds like something that's interesting to you, just reach out. Love to chat. Love to take a look at your business and see what we can do to help you.